I have a question for you.
All right, hit me.
What's work?
I don't know anymore. Being 2 weeks off. So, like, at the beginning of Christmas break, so it's like we really didn't do much of anything for 2 weeks, which is great. Felt great. But, like, at the start of it, I have trouble adjusting. So, at the start of vacation, I need a little bit of time. I get anxiety when you mess with my routine. I'm, like, no different than a toddler.
Oh.
And then I got used to it, felt great. I'm, like, playing VR and doing house projects and going to cabins. And then now I'm back at work, and I'm like, what am I doing?
That's funny, because I'm the opposite. Like, the first week of vacation, I'm just like, woo! Doing nothing, woo! What are we doing? We're watching LA Law, we're playing computer games, that's all we're doing. And then yesterday, I was an asshole yesterday. Like, I was, like, in very, very bad mood, like, not good. I was so dysregulated. And I was like, man, I need to get back to work. I need to get back on my schedule, because just time doesn't exist anymore.
I assume I would get there if I stayed away long enough.
But I'm like that on vacation. Like, if a vacation, like, we hit like day 4 or 5 of the vacation, I'm kind of like, yeah, we can go home now. It's been here too long.
You know, it depends. I used to be that way. I think I'm getting better at taking vacation. But like that, especially when you own your own business, you really have to teach yourself how to like unplug and then work and then go back to it. It's a skill we don't talk about.
Yeah. Well, it's sort of, things came up. I did stuff over the last 2 weeks, and so it was just that background anxiety. Like, I probably should check my email in case something did blow up. And I did do it, and I did get things done. But yeah, my whole family's like that. We went on a trip to Canada when I was a kid, multi-city week-long trip. And I remember, and we were in Montreal, and it was just kind of like, it's time to go home now. We're going home now. Like, the whole family, just like consensus. And my dad Ironmanned it from Montreal to Chicago.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was nuts.
What's it like? That's definitely an all-day drive.
Yeah, it was a long time.
So what the hot gift in our house seems to be Legos. No matter what anybody got, Lego was the thing that got played with the most, regardless of your age range. How about yourself?
It's funny you should mention that, because I got a Amazon gift card, and obviously I get independent texts both from you and Julie being like, check out this Lego I bought. Check out this Lego I bought. Like, I'm filling up my Lego building tray.
This is the infamous Lego sorting tray.
Yeah, I made fun of Julie about it, but I shouldn't have. So yeah, I was like, I'm gonna buy a crazy Lego. I'm gonna buy that A-wing that I lusted over when we did the Lego store teardown with my gift card. And so I went through that whole rigmarole, and that's actually, I take that back. That was not my thought process. My thought process was, I'm gonna buy this book I've been eyeballing. That's like a fancy coffee table book. That's it's the branding standards guide for NASA in the 1970s. It's like here's the NASA truck. Like, here's like how we use the logos. Like, here's all the ship logos.
Have you read through it yet?
No, because I just got it yesterday.
Oh, okay. What I want to hear is an update where you go through it and then you go like, here's all the logos and brand designs I have seen today that clearly borrowed from this.
Do you think that that's true?
I bet.
Okay.
Well, we won't know. You're going to be our NASA design influence expert.
There's a company that does this, and they have like one for the original New York subway one and all these other ones. So I was like, I could never justify buying that book, so I did. And I was like, well, I got like $40 left over on my gift card after buying that.
How much was this gift card?
$100.
All right, and you spent 60 on a book.
We'll say 70. We'll say 70 on the fancy coffee table book.
All right, so we got some cash left over on this gift card. What happens?
So then I'm like, oh, I could buy something else. And I was like, ooh, I could buy a Lego. I could buy that A-wing. I think I'm going to have to buy that A-wing. And the A-wing is, I think, $200?
What?
If not more than that. So in order to spend $30, I talked myself spending into $150 plus. I didn't need to.
Would this have occurred had you not had the gift card?
Never in a million years. I wouldn't have bought either of those things.
That's the magic of gift cards. People who receive gift cards almost universally spend more than the value of the gift card, often significantly more. Somehow handing you the gift card kicks off a new and fun consumption cycle.
Yeah.
And that's like not just you, that's everybody. Isn't that weird?
Well, because I see it as like, it's my scenario where, they got $30 left over or whatever.
Right.
And they then talk themselves into going, well, I could buy this thing that's $300, and it's like I'm getting 10% off. So I'll just buy this thing that's $370. And now the merchant got $270 they never would have had in the first place.
Oh, I love those Amazon gift cards. So when you were purchasing Lego, I'm surprised it was in stock. This was like the super hot item this year.
It was weird because I went to I don't know what the term is. I like pre-shopped at the Lego website because they obviously have way better sorting than
you go to the
Amazon's
so you went
website.
direct to the manufacturer to pre-shop it.
Yeah, and everything was sold out on the Lego website. I mean, they were just gone. And then on Amazon, if I went directly to the product listing, it was like $350 or some insane number.
So some retail arbitrage.
Yeah, the resellers that had it were like gouging. But then there was a special Lego only page on Amazon that was essentially like a collection listing with buy now buttons being sold to you directly from Amazon, and that had it at the normal map price.
Weird. Sometimes I don't get Amazon.
Amazon doesn't make any sense. I don't understand the systems. It's like too big.
I was on a client call, and the CEO of a big organization said, "Hey, we had a spirited discussion last week. Which is Amazon better at, logistics or customer service?"
Logistics.
Logistics.
Because I think Amazon Web Services probably falls under logistics, which is obviously like civilians don't know about Amazon Web Services, but it like controls the entire internet.
It does. And when you think about Amazon customer service, consider before you go, well, it's good. Think about this. Is it the self-service or the customer service that you experienced? The self-service is good. Actual Amazon customer service is like non-existent. It's okay.
It's okay. Well, and I think I think people talk about, well, they're really good. Like I get refunds from them, or they just resend it if there's an issue with that sort of stuff. They could just do that because they have so much money.
Yes.
They could just eat the cost. They're not really servicing you in that they did like the diabolical thing of just like, what are the costs to us to just resend it to you? Oh, relatively nothing. We'll just do it. Who cares? It's like not out of the goodness of their hearts. It's like they did a cruel spreadsheet, figured it out.
Was it always this way? I mean, I remember ordering like CDs from Amazon 20 years ago.
I mean, I don't remember.
Neither do I. Back in the dial-up days. Oh, God, that noise! Oh! It's the first and last time I used that sound effect.
Oh, makes me feel feelings.
Yeah, that dial-up noise, there's something about it.
It's been going Prodigy in 1991.
Ooh, Prodigy, that's a good one.
That's right. IBM PS1.
Ooh, I hope you still have that keyboard.
I do not.
Darn. Those go for like a couple $100 on eBay now.
I don't know.
The keyboard, not the computer.
Yeah, I don't know if the PS1 keyboard is like the classic.
Yeah, I forgot the name of the model. Anyway, this is the Unofficial Shopify podcast. I'm your host, Kurt Elster, a.k.a. TECHNASTY. And I'm joined by my business partner of many years, Paul Rita. Today we're talking about New Year's resolutions for Shopify merchants. See, here's the thing. Now through January, we're going to see an influx of new members to our Facebook group, which welcome, and we're going to see new listeners. And so knowing this was going to happen, I asked last week, I said, new members, what's your number one question as you grow your Shopify store? And established members, what do you wish you knew when you were starting out? And today we're going to talk through the top comments and try and work that into New Year's resolutions to grow your store. And actually, that resolution, that was your idea. I thought it was very good.
Well, I didn't explain it fully.
You just wanted to like come up with like, all right, here's actionable resolutions.
Yeah, just us like telling people what to think.
Oh, okay.
Whereas you're like, asking the plebs about
I made like a whole thing.
Yeah, you made like a whole thing.
All right, well, we could talk through.
I just figured it was just going to be 45 minutes of us riffing and then I get to leave.
Before we get to that, in housekeeping news, so we talked about Shipageddon. Have you heard of Returnsmageddon? No Returnsmageddon?
No.
So this is the idea: is if you send a record number of gifts, packages, whatever, over the last 6 weeks, you're going to see record returns as a result of that. And so shipping and customer service issues, if you've experienced them, if you're seeing them, that's going to continue through January. But it really depends on the category. Like apparel is going to be hardest hit because they have a notoriously high return rate. So go easy on those. On shipping, did you get everything you ordered over Christmas?
I got everything I ordered. I showed you before we started the Christmas present the kids bought my dad is Titleist will allow you to print anything you want on golf balls.
Personalization, always smart.
Yep. And so we bought my dad a bunch of golf balls with his head embossed on them. And it's hilarious.
They're really funny.
It's hilarious.
They're great.
And the first problem is, of course, you have to buy literally 200 golf balls in order to do it, but who cares? And then we paid for the expedited shipping, so it would show up before Christmas, and it did not show up before Christmas. It showed up on Saturday, which was the first, the second, I think. Yeah, it was very late.
So my wife ordered a fanny pack from Coach for her mother. And this was on Black Friday, she did this. Not only did it never shipped and still has not shipped, if you try and get a hold of them, you really can't. And they're like, hey, even if your order hasn't shipped yet, it's already sent to the warehouse for processing, so we can't cancel it. So she has this zombie order that has been now, we're 6 weeks into this thing?
Yeah.
That was the only one. Everything else managed to get here, including international packages. It was weirdly only Coach, which again, fashion and apparel. So, maybe they were. Well,
and it's not like Coach is we're going to hurt our brand. No.
Yeah.
They're going to be fine.
They'll be okay. All right. So let's talk about our questions, advice, and actionable resolutions. I tried to sort these. So would you like to read us the first? I grouped these.
Simone Agius asks, what's the best way to increase traffic without using Facebook ads? She doesn't want to spend money, buy them at the traffic store. Well, it's a long slog.
Yeah, I think the answer here is...
It's content.
It's content.
It's content. You have to create content. You have to Instagram, get crazy on Instagram, get crazy on your Facebook, find influencers and get them your product. Find reviewers and get them your product. And you need to generate, those all fall under the umbrella of the word content.
Yes. Yeah. When we say, often we say SEO, that's snake oil, but content marketing, that's great. Two sides of the same coin.
It's true.
And I think the answer here is content. And Trevor Krotz followed up, and he had an experience share. He's an experienced merchant. He said, don't ignore SEO. It is easy to be short-sighted and focus on faster ROI channels versus playing the long game. I wish I would have started SEO strategies sooner. And then I asked him, I said, what? He said, consistently creating high-quality, engaging content that ranks. We put out 10 blogs a week on one of our sites. So the answer here is content marketing as SEO.
Yeah, when we say negative things about SEO, what we're talking about is things that are keyword stuffing or weird manipulations or people that are selling you on well, I'm going to get you to rank higher and we're going to do all these weird little shenanigans and we're going to beat the algorithm type stuff. That is the SEO that we are down.
The snake oil SEO we're trying to avoid.
That's the stuff we're down on.
If it sounds like a shortcut, that's the problem.
Yeah. Any SEO strategy, there's SEO stuff that's we're going to make sure your shit's right on your site. So when the crawlers crawl you, all the best stuff is being read properly. That's necessary SEO. And then there's weird snake oil SEO, which is we're going to manipulate the results in some way. And don't worry, I'm going to figure it out for you. And you're going to rank super high because we know the secrets. And then there's content-based SEO.
Put in the work.
Which is...
Publish blogs for 2 years.
Yeah, put in a shit ton of work and slog through making blogs and getting stuff to rank due to the fact that it is linked to from everywhere. And everyone liked it.
My wife started her site, her content-focused Shopify site 2 years ago. This is really 2021 will be the first year where organic traffic, so just the SEO long-tail keyword phrases, outstrip social and everything else.
Yeah.
So it's a bit I've always said, it takes about 2 years to get things going. If you're doing it without paid traffic, it's purely organic SEO play. I think that's going to be the answer.
Well, and the question, you put these together so well. The question after this is, what's the best way to drive organic traffic to your site? Have a bunch of engaging content.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
then,
I guess our first resolution is put in tons of grunt work that seems like it's not paying off to make highly engaging content.
well, content, I think I've heard this, I've heard people say this before. Content marketing SEO, very much planting a garden. You
Yeah.
are going to publish all that stuff. Those are your seedlings. Nothing is going to happen until suddenly, like minimum 2 months later, traffic starts showing up from Google.
Yeah.
And then you get really lucky if people start sharing that stuff. That helps as well. And Marta, on that end, Marta Scrabbich said, my experience share, don't underestimate the value of investing in good creative, especially when you need it to be curated and used across different platforms. One good piece of creative could generate excellent content across organic and paid channels. So again, this just comes back to make the good content.
I think if her name is fancy, it's Marta Scrabbage.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
Either do I. I wish I had phonetic pronunciations for everyone's name. I hate butchering people's names. It breaks my heart.
Apologize. We're just joking. We don't want to offend you about your name.
So I think you have to experiment. You have to find a medium that works for you and go with that and then publish consistently. So for us, clearly podcasting is the medium that stuck. That's the one that works. And like Lauren Michaels, you always say, what?
Oh, the podcast doesn't go on because it's good. It goes on because it's Tuesday.
That's right. And we have published the podcast consistently since 2014.
Yeah.
Right? Late 2014. And I think it's like 2015. I figured it out. But for 5 years, this thing has run continuously.
We've never missed a Tuesday for 5 years.
And now has generated 1.4 million downloads as a result.
Yeah.
So that's the magic of just consistently publishing. And they're not all going to be winners, but it's a skill and you're going to get better at it over time. I hope we have. Actually, I've gone back and listened to some old episodes. Oh my God.
I know we have. So, I mean, not to derail this, I'm just going to completely wreck this right now.
No!
But what of the people that are like, well, I would like my business to make money before 2 years from now? What can we do about that?
I think the issue here is we're being myopic and focusing on a single channel. I think at all times you want to have a make money today strategy and a make money tomorrow or make money tomorrow strategy. And I think content marketing, you just have to commit to, I'm going to publish weekly. No matter what it is, I'm going to publish weekly or more. And I'll figure out what works and I'm going to play with it. But that's really okay, that gets me organic content, that gets me my social content, that gets me my SEO content, but that's still going to be 80% make money later and 20% make money now. So I like content marketing for that. But then we also need we need to make money today. Well, if we've got a newsletter of any size, even 100 people on it, let's market to those people consistently as though it's an email list of 100,000 people, right? Let's treat that newsletter in our business like the professional that it is, even if there's only 50, 100 people on it, because you want to build that habit. And that's your make money today. We could get those people to buy and get them to talk about it and get them to share it. And then, if you're even earlier than that, you start with friends and family and see if you can get them to support you. And
I mean, I know the initial starting question of this is without using Facebook ads. Buying traffic isn't cheating. It's not I did make a bunch of money, but I bought all the traffic and I paid for advertising and paid placement of stuff. It's not cheating. Procter & Gamble isn't cheating by creating soap operas.
I don't think it's necessarily cheating. I think either they're doing that activity now and it's not generating the ROI they want. And so they're okay, well, what else can I do to augment this? Yeah. Which I think is smart, because as you have other traffic going to a site that's already running Facebook remarketing ads, all right, well, that augments the power of the Facebook remarketing ads and vice versa. The whole thing ends up being a force multiplier. So it is hard to look at it as this one single channel. But so I think when people ask that question, it's either they're intimidated by Facebook ads or paid advertising. They don't want to get into it. They don't want to lose the money on it, right? So I think it's I I think it's a core digital marketer skill. I think just like play with it, whether that's like spending 50 or $100 at it, but to try and get comfortable with it. And you don't necessarily start with like whole Facebook ads. Like start with promoted posts. That's way easier to get into and to use a smaller budget effectively.
Mm-hmm. Or do like giveaways.
Giveaways are one of my favorites. But again, you still, to get the reach on that giveaway, you still got to promote it. And I think a promoted post is like the easy way to do that.
Yeah, well, I'm saying like, giving, we talk about the watering holes. It's like doing giveaways in the watering holes.
Yep. Yeah, when we say watering hole, it's like, all right, where do these people hang out online?
Yeah,
they probably hang out in Facebook groups, forums, Reddit. Like, where are they?
Mm-hmm.
Can you get... All right, then that's another great organic activity. That's grassroots marketing. If I could figure out where they hang out, well, I can hang out there too. Grassroots marketing, often very effective. And that brings us to our next question. Mr. Daniel Mendez asks, how can I use the voice of my customers to build positioning and messaging on my Shopify store?
Ooh, I know this. Send out surveys.
Yes.
Survey your customers, ask them why they bought, how it makes them feel. Kurt has a survey that he uses.
I do.
And like, it's incredible because they tell you how to market your product.
Yes.
And you're like, why did you buy my product? And it's like, because it makes my feet feel good. And when they say that, immediately the H1 on your website should be, make your feet feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Buy this thing.
Yes.
Like they tell you the main advertising pin of it.
Well, the thing is, like, they speak the way customers speak. You speak like a marketer.
Yeah.
You speak like someone who, like, this is your baby. And so you need that natural language, and you need that core benefit from the person who is actually opening up their wallet and paying for it, right? But no, that is, like, consistently for myself, for other conversion rate optimization professionals, take that voice of customer and paste it into the headline on a website. Let's say you don't have any customers. Oh, what do I do? Just start reading Amazon reviews. Start reading forums. Start reading subreddits, Facebook groups. You can start finding the way people talk about a similar product, your product, or a similar pain or problem that your product solves, and then start pulling that language. And you'll start to notice like phrases, recurring phrases or phrases you like. And that can really make life much easier, is pulling that stuff. If you want to be fancy with it and get if you want to be fancy with it and you need like a framework for it, assistance, Adam Smith suggests StoryBrand. StoryBrand, I have not done, but it has been recommended so many times that I'm comfortable recommending it. It is a book or a course, website, a framework for developing that brand story. And it is it does leverage voice of customer. So if I had to pick, as a resolution, like work on that, work on your brand story, because that's going to become your welcome series. I bet that'll be one of your most effective email flows. And then that's also going to become the cornerstone of your marketing and help you work through the positioning and then get your headline. Like it all comes back to that story.
I have nothing to add to that because that is correct. Todd Steinberg asks, how important is email marketing to building relationships and increasing sales? Which I feel like is asking, how important is food?
Yeah. How important is oxygen to breathing?
Yeah. It's food. It's if you don't have email, you'll die. If you don't eat food, you'll die. It's literally the most important thing to building revenue.
Well,
and increasing sales.
Well, in digital marketing, it's often said like, well, the value of the business is the list, is the audience.
Yeah.
And so that email and those email lists just generate money, right? And like we did that holiday email guide. I wonder how much cash that thing through like the emails that it then inspired in total end up generating. Quite a lot. But for most of our clients, I would, probably most of them, email is the number one revenue channel.
Oh, without a doubt.
And like you're not paying, like, yeah, you're paying for an email service provider.
It's an owned channel too.
It's but yeah, you're not paying.
Facebook can't be like, well, that email got typed wrong, so we're not going to deliver your email. Or Google's not going to say that.
Yeah.
I mean, it can if you do.
I was going to say, actually, if they type my email in wrong, it probably won't get delivered.
Well, you know what I'm saying is,
right.
Facebook, it feels like makes these arbitrary and capricious choices regarding to how exactly you have formed your ad. And people are like, what the fuck? How did that one get canceled? I don't even get it. That doesn't happen with email. You control the channel.
Absolutely. Yeah, I like it. If you're not doing anything with email, at least be collecting a list and sending out automated emails.
I mean, and when I proposed this topic to you, and when I thought of it as our things that we tell people their New Year's resolutions should be, mine was focus more on email.
Send more email?
Like, however much you're focusing on email, you need to focus more on email and less on the website.
Resolution, send more email.
It's like once the site reaches a certain minimum competency bar, email vastly outstrips anything extra you could be doing.
Well, as a touch point, email's great because email is a to-do list that other people set. So, like, I check my inbox. Oh, here's a whole bunch of stuff. I need to take action on all of it.
Yeah.
And so I have to at least consider the sender and subject line. Email is what keeps you top of mind. So if you send me an email if Lego sends me an email and I had not previously been thinking about Lego, now I'm thinking about Lego. And for a good number of people they send it to, it's a single digit percentage, but it's still like that is a non-trivial crowd who's going to go, oh yeah, I was thinking about ordering that thing, and then just go do it.
I mean, yeah, there's millions of people on the Lego email list. Come on.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
Wait, I would not doubt it. Send more email, man.
To say like a single email to the Lego email list generates tens of thousands of orders, which translates to millions of dollars in revenue for every single email. No part of that statement is absurd or wrong.
No, and what the magic of it is it works the same regardless of the size of the list.
Yeah.
Like if I'm emailing 1,000 people,
you're still going to get 10 orders out of it.
Yes. Well, let's say my average order value is $50. Well, and I got 10 orders. Now I sent an email, I earned $500.
Yeah.
I could keep doing that as long as I have promotions or products or something to go with it.
I mean, you even do it. I mean, this hasn't been a problem recently, but I remember, 18 months ago, 2 years ago, we'd be like, it's a little light this month. Like, and you were like, yeah, I want to redo my bathroom. And I was like, I'm just going to email everyone. And you would just email all of our previous clients and be like, hey, you got any work that needs to get done? And, 5 or 6 jobs would show up. Because they would be like, oh, yeah, you know what? I was thinking about something. I was going to contact you guys.
Yeah, no, it works with there is no category in which email doesn't work. That's what's so cool about it. Let's see. There was this great advice from Courtney Powell Hartman in the group. She said, if you're launching an apparel store of any kind, you're going to need at least 5 times the number of new releases you thought you'd need in a given period of time. The appetite for new stuff is endless. And she's right. The human brain craves novelty. Mm-hmm. So if you could come up with new products and new product launches or re-release products, whatever you could do to make it a new and novel thing makes it interesting. And that's what gets, especially repeat customers to go, yeah, I'll order that. Like I ordered the first one. It was cool. This seems cool. Let's do it. And who does this better than anyone? Apple? Apple will resell you the same thing. They've been reselling me iPads for how long?
Yeah,
right?
It's Malibu Stacy. She has a new hat.
A new hat! I wish I had a sound drop for that. I almost put a Simpsons sound drop onto that.
Well, you're missing out.
I missed out. Let's see. And, yeah, so I think, product launches can help drive the growth of a business, for sure. And I know Casey Bard at Tact Calories has experienced this firsthand. God, that guy's good at marketing and doing product launches. It is unreal.
Well, and it's funny because you're always kind of you're like, oh, Casey Bard sent me some cool stuff lately. And I'm like, I don't want to say it to you, but it's almost like you do realize that every time he sends you something, you blast it out on all of your social media channels. You've become
talk about it here.
You've become an unpaid influencer for him.
Because I love it.
For free product.
Oh, it's so good. I had I had his barbecue sauce last night. Oh, damn. This is so good. Helldiver wing sauce. That's my favorite. You need some buffalo wing sauce? This stuff. Damn.
Frank's, baby.
Frank's? Okay, Frank's is good, but I'm going to step up your game.
All of your hot things are like a dare.
You're right.
I just want to enjoy flavors, not cry.
everybody could use a good cry now and then.
Well, the problem is,
Especially when it's just searing agony.
the problem is with you, that's the only way you could achieve it. Like, that's your therapy.
Correct. Yeah. It's an addiction, the spicy food. I love it. Very healthy addiction. But so we've got all these ideas. How do you implement them? Well, Andre Rudnick suggests there's a lot of quality Shopify partners that can help you do pretty much anything you want on your store. He's not wrong. So the resolution, the way I would reframe this is as a business owner, think of money as a tool to buy back your time. When you are spending money in that way, where you're using it to in some way buy back your time, whether that's like software automation, smart home stuff, or like hiring someone, even like, hire somebody for $25 to plow your driveway, whatever it is, that is you buying back your time. And that is almost universally a great use of money. When you could buy back your own time.
I mean, we hire people.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, we don't want to handle that.
I'm like, ooh, yeah. Get somebody to do it. Put Carl on it.
Yeah. It's like we have like servers that we have websites on. It's like, we don't administer those servers. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, no, that's... and finally, Emily Clark had a comment that I wanted to share. She said, I love episodes that touch on just how much time and effort something takes. It really helps me to set my own goals and expectations. Well, I think you got to be patient, and I think building any business, like regardless of what it is, where it's starting, like between where it is now and where you want it to go, I think it will almost always be 24 months. That's my rule of thumb. And there's like, edge cases and variation in there. Yeah. But like if we're setting expectations, I think 24 months is usually like the safe answer.
Well, in 24 months of grinding it out.
Yeah.
Not like
I think about it occasionally.
Well, yeah, of actual grinding it out. But I was also thinking of like, well, on day one, I dropped $250,000 into like this, and this. And it was kind of like, okay, maybe not the best choice.
Well, but even if that is how you did the business, you started your business and ran it, it's like, wow, it's a big success, but you still need to earn that money back.
Yeah.
Like it would still probably be 24 months to profitable, right? So even if I'm going to bootstrap it and it's always profitable, but like low revenue and it just grows incrementally over time. That's our approach. I like it. 24 months. Took us longer than that.
Oh yeah.
Or if, hey, I'm going to drop a bunch of coin up front to do this, fine. You can do that too, but at what point does the business become profitable? Or even like, when does it get to a point where I could sell it and then that's the payout? So I think no matter what, it's 2-year time scale.
Well, and I think you need to take into account 2 years from now, you're going to be a lot less dumb than you currently are right now. Like right now, when you're starting this business, you're dumb.
You don't know what you're doing. You don't have the experience, and that's okay.
Yeah. And then 2 years from now, you're going to be like, oh man, I was so fucking dumb. And then 2 years after that, you're going to look back on the previous 2 years and been like, man, I was dumb. I didn't know anything.
And if at any point that stops happening, you've stopped growing.
Yeah, it's like that's just life, man. We're just dropping life advice now. If every 5 years you're not looking back at yourself 5 years ago and being like, I was stupid as hell. Like,
yeah,
you've gone down a wrong path.
It's amazing how much things change over time. Well, that's the end of the
questions.
Yeah, the questions.
We still got time.
Listeners.
We got to give the people some more. So, what is my resolution? My overarching resolution for the people listening to this right now is I want them to care less.
Oh,
because I feel like a lot of the time, for the people we're working with and that we talk to, they get very myopic about things. And like it's the forest for the trees where you lose sight of like what's really important and what's not important in terms of the business in the store. So it's like email always going to be more important than everything. Like that weird animation on this like image on your store, not very important.
It's, what I always think of that as shiny toy syndrome.
Yeah.
So yeah, yours would be, hey, look at the bigger picture, be less myopic, think longer term.
Yeah, and
mine would be avoid shiny toys.
Yeah, it's just like look at your actual money numbers of the money you're making, and then figure out how to make more of the money. I feel like revenue becomes a backseat to feelings.
Oh. Yes.
And I
Well,
was just
especially
like-
when you own your own business, because it's like it is so you and the business are so entangled.
Yeah, and it's
it's
wrapped
so
up.
easy to get emotional about it.
Yeah,
And the people who are really successful are like total sociopaths often.
true.
Not always, but sometimes
Yeah.
it's not unusual to find really successful like psychopaths in business. And why are they successful? It's not because they're in some way
Like immoral monsters.
no,
Well,
it's
that's part of
because
it.
yeah. No, it's because they could divorce themselves emotionally, so they're able to make better decisions.
And they can they can separate their identity from the business.
Yes.
And I mean, I've been like writing and talking to you about this for over half a decade now. But it's like people that have that like I'm a big boy businessman syndrome, where it's like, are you in this to make money, or are you in this to feel like a big boy businessman?
Yeah. I think you have to consider your motivations, and if that is your motivation, that's fine. But you need to personally be aware of it,
Yeah.
so that it doesn't get in the way of other decisions.
Yeah, I think my key is you really want to like look at how your money is being generated, look at how your revenue is being generated, where it's coming from, places where the revenue is falling down, or you can increase it and stuff like that, or like how the product is being built. Actual stuff that's like the linchpin foundations of the business, and don't pay as much attention to the other stuff.
And I think you should be a psychopath.
And everything you think is really just something to hit the noise button.
I did a whiskey happy hour call with my in-laws, and my brother-in-law noted, he's like, all of your questions are setups for the soundboard, aren't they?
Yeah, he's right.
I was like, yes.
I assume that was Mike. Mike's very
Mike's astute. Yeah.
Mike picks up on stuff.
Yeah. And they just did not enjoy Yakety Sax the way I did, and then that was kind of the end of it. That's fabulous. I don't know.
What do you want to see out of business owner, customer, client type people?
I want people to be happy. That's what I want, truly. And so what I have been doing and thinking about, and that's what I want for myself and my family, and so for the last several weeks, I've just been thinking about, like, what do I want short term and long term? And I think when you're asking yourself these things, like, phrase it that way, short term and long term, and what stresses me out. So there's like two parts to it. It's like, what do you need, and what do you need to get rid of? What are those two things? All right, well, which is the most realistic? What can we do? Then you got to, and then once you've generated this list, you got to prioritize it. I think that's where people fall on their faces with resolutions. It's like, I've got all these great goals, but if you've got a whole bunch of goals, you end up going just a million.
Yeah, you can't focus on it.
Yeah, you're going 12 different directions. You end up going nowhere. As opposed to like, all right, you got to prioritize and pick. And then that's when you're going to see forward momentum and progress.
All right. Well, we're not actual therapists. We're only Shopify therapists. So reword that for their stores.
Okay, here's what you do. You're staring at your store and you're looking at other people's stores and you're frustrated about something about your business.
And also maybe don't look at other people's stores and being like, look at that. They got a weird little button down there.
Yeah, 'cause
I need
you-
to have
yeah.
a weird little button down there because they have it. And it's like, you sure? Are you sure that's...
Yeah, you don't know why they did it. I once had someone go, hey, we have to put this badge for this other business on here or I'm going to get cut out of the family will. That's a real thing that happened.
Yeah.
So, like, my point, though, it's not to besmirch them, but that you don't know the reasoning, the real reasoning behind why certain decisions are made on websites.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, certainly... Resolution 1, oh my gosh, stop looking at other people's websites and like lusting after, well, they did this, I need to do that. It makes stuff crazy.
Yeah, it's like, the reason the buttons blue? It's not because they did like split testing and like people trusted the color blue more in relation to this product. It was because the guy's girlfriend was just like, I think blue would be nice. So now it's blue.
They're like, she's an art therapist and she said blue is healing. You're like, okay, well, that's what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you really have no idea.
It's like, that's why I worked on a site back in a past life that on they sold horse related products.
I love this store.
And on every single page load, there would be the sound of horse clip clops. I was forced to put that on the website because I had a boss and there was no way out of that. So every fucking page load, there would be a wave file that was 5 seconds of horse clip clops.
And this was way back when?
I would say 2007.
2007, were people using dial-up modems then?
Stop it!
Oh, my ears! Oh, what is that?
We're on DSL. Come on.
TECHNASTY.
Stop it. But yeah, so I'm sure maybe some of their competitors in the horse space were like, "Oh man, dude, they got the horse clip.
They got that multimedia sound effects.
Multimedia clip clop action.
Oh man, we need it." And they're emailing their developers like, How
come we didn't think of clip clop?
No, they're probably like, "Please don't make us do this." So the other thing you do is in your business, figure out, rather than like beat your head against the wall with the stuff that didn't work, figure out what did work. Like, what are the channels that generate revenue? What are the emails that get sales? What works in this business? Make an inventory of that. And then your resolution should just be, do more of that. Like, let's do double that stuff. I want 80% of my time being devoted to the things I know worked. And then 20%, I'm just going to experiment and not be hard on myself for things that, don't work. We're just going to try things.
That's big.
You like that?
It's big. I think trying stuff and just being like, you know what? I'm trying this out. It's going to be crazy. Could totally screw it up. And if I screwed it up and it didn't work out and it was a bad idea, that's fine. I did a good job trying something.
Yes. Well, what's funny? Like we were talking about this show. We, to this day, really have no idea what episodes are going to really get people excited and drive a lot of engagement and get response. And the episodes that we're really excited about, we publish them, and then like nobody cares.
Yeah, I think, not to brag, but I feel like that I'm a very good cook. And the reason I'm a very good cook is because I'm just kind of like, well, what if I tried it this way? And, you kind of self-teach yourself about what will work and what won't. And you'll get evidence in the future when you're like, I think that might work because this thing that's kind of like that worked and it's different from this way that didn't work in this way. And it gives you evidence in the future to make better decisions.
All right, let's break it down this way. Here at famously at 3M, the folks that gave us all kinds of tape, adhesives, etc., they would have their engineers do 20% time. So Monday through Thursday.
Is that where that came from?
Yeah, it's 3M.
I always heard it was Google. I mean, Google was the first one I heard of.
A lot of people do. A lot of businesses do 20% time because of this.
So 3M started.
And so 3M is Monday through Thursday. You do your work for 3M. Friday, you come to 3M, and then you work on your own stuff. And that's where Post-it notes came from.
Yeah.
It was an adhesive that was meant to be for something else. And they discovered the thing would keep sticking, and they ended up using it paper. Yeah. So I think you could do... If you really want to take this idea further, you do the same thing in your own business. Like Monday through Thursday, we're going to work on the activities that we know generate revenue.
Yeah, of
Friday,
our currently running business.
Friday, let's throw stuff against the wall and see what sticks.
I mean, we do that all the time.
Friday is when things get weird.
Yeah.
That's all I got. How about yourself?
I'm good. I can't believe I have to do work. I have 2 assignments. And now I need to edit this podcast, and then I have 2 more assignments. At least I need to do this week. This is a nightmare.
There's people with office jobs like, I hate this man.
Yeah, I know. I just want to go home. I just want to go home and play Hades. All I've done is play computer games for 2 weeks. It's not healthy.
You need to go outside, touch the ground,
It's cold.
see the sun.
The sun. It's January.
I know, it's just, this kicks off 3 months of endless gray in Chicago.
Yeah, it's just terrible.
Let's go ahead and let's end things on a freestyle rap that Ezra Firestone recorded for me.
Is this part of Ezra Firestone's new ad with us? Or is this going to be just part of the show?
No, this is just part of the show.
I'm going to take off my headphones before that happens.
And we'll leave.
TECHNASTY. Oh, shoot. I'm on the TECHNASTY podcast. TECHNASTY, never letting a Shopify store get past me without optimizing and making it flashy. I'm so cashy. Convert the desktop and mobile traffic. KURTINC if you want to tweet at me. The big dog, TECHNASTY.
Wow. So if you're wondering where that TECHNASTY sound drop came from, it's that.
I wish I had that level of self-confidence.
Oh, I know. That's awesome. The impressive part is, well, that's impressive.
He's an interesting man.
Yeah, I like Ezra. All right, let's end it there. See you, Paul.
Bye.